Well, hey there everyone, it's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi, hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we are out here at the Westminster Hills Open Space to go on a little nighttime walk. Apollo needed an off-leash moment. It's been a few days. It's been quite a few days. We did go a little bit off-leash at near the Boulder Reservoir, but that was a few days ago, and we didn't go off-leash too much, just because of the prairie dogs. And he's been a little extra squirrely, so I was like, let's get you out here. And I worked a full day today. Then after work I had a couple things to do, so unfortunately we didn't get out here until it was dark, but it gives me a chance to try out the camera out here using my light, because this light, I've used it around town, but not in pitch black. I'll show you what it looks like without it. That's what it looks like with no light. So you can still see the lights and stuff, but you can't really see where we're walking. With the light, we get quite a bit, and I have it set to f2, but I think I want to do... Hold on. I always get confused by that for the aperture. The lower the aperture means more light is being let in, I think. And the bigger aperture, I think, is less. I need to get better about remembering that stuff. It just says f2 best for low light. I'm like, okay, great, that's what I need. So I think between that and the little light that I have attached to it, we see a fair amount more than if we didn't. So hopefully this looks okay. It's better than pitch black. At least gives you a little something. If you're the type of person that watches or looks up from time to time on these night walks, that might be a little bit better than pitch black. So yeah, hope you're doing well, having a good day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Figured we'll get out here. Not sure how long we'll go today. It is chilly, but not too bad, considering it's January. But we are getting some wind gusts coming in here and there that do put a little bit more of a nip in the air. I think this thing can change to... So that's cool tone. That's flashing. We don't want that. That's warm, medium, cool. So that's warm, medium, cool. I think I like medium. Okay. I don't think there's a way to adjust how bright it is. I think there's just the single brightness, but does the job. Does the job. I have a larger LED light panel that I could attach to this thing that would really brighten things up, but it's much heavier, and well, I guess I'd have to find a good way to mount it. I guess I could just mount it to the top of the camera. So maybe I'll start putting that in my camera bag, and we'll bring it out one of these days and see if that's helpful. But I think this gets the job done, and it weighs nothing and it clips right onto the camera. So anyway, so probably just do mainly life stuff. If we get around to a couple comments, then so be it. But things are going good. Work is it's a little quiet, to be quite honest. I think people are just getting back into the swing of things. Today is the 6th, I believe. Yeah. 6th of January. And yeah, work was pretty quiet. Not a ton of recruitments going on, and the ones that I do have are currently in advertisement. which means I'm just reviewing resumes and looking those over. So we don't have much going on in terms of interview scheduling and stuff right now, but that's not to say things won't pick up. Next week I have some postings closing, so we'll be moving into interviews, so next week should be a little bit busier. But yeah, just trek along there. I do have to do my self-evaluation for the year and do my goal setting and stuff, so I have to work on that tomorrow. And then what else? It's really about it work-wise. I got a chance to do a whip-in chat yesterday after work, so that was nice. I just need to edit that and get that posted. And then I have a whole bunch of clips from the past 4 or 5 days that are just partials. Like, I think I mentioned this in the whip-in chat, but one of them was I walked around and started doing an around the town vlog, and then my mom called, so then I was on the phone with her for a long time. And then I did one out at Boulder, at the Boulder Reservoir, and I think that one was fairly long. I think I responded to some comments on that one, so I don't know if I'll make that its own vlog or just stick it to something else. And then I think there's I have some clips of hiking around South Table with Alex and MJ, and I was gonna make it a whip and jam, but I didn't bring my chest harness. I just had my handheld selfie stick, and it just felt awkward pointing the selfie stick at Alex if he was ahead, or MJ. So I was just doing this kind of awkward, trying to show the scenery. So I don't know what I'll be able to use from that, but if I can pull some clips that look pretty from that, then I will probably either incorporate them at the back end of this vlog or at the front of it, just so people can see, or I'll put them on another video. I want to salvage some of the stuff I have. At first I was like, I'm just going to delete everything from the past few days because there hasn't been really anything I can use, and everything is 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but I might try to stitch something together, so we'll see. But yeah, I figured we'd just come out here and I can chit chat with you. Other life stuff going on, nothing really. I was trying to think. Yeah, I guess we can talk about this weekend. So I did the hike with Alex and MJ, and then we went to the mall afterwards because Alex needed a new pair of shoes. So we went to the mall and went shoe shopping with Alex. I ended up getting a hoodie. It was really inexpensive. It's a $13 hoodie from the Adidas outlet. It's just I got it oversized, cozy, just a little cozy. And then we had plans to go to a movie, so we went and saw The Housemaid, which is a book from, I think it's Frida McFadden. I read that book earlier this year, kind of a trashy little thriller. And then we went and saw the movie because a bunch of us had read the book. So it was me, Alex, MJ, who read the book, Matt and Jackie, who hadn't. Alex didn't read it either. Then we had Maddie, my roommate Maddie, who had read it. And then our friend, it's her friend, but we're all friends, Mackenzie, she had read it as well. So we all went and had a good old time, and then we went out to dinner afterwards and then went home. So that was a fun little day, and I I think the day before, I went over to Alex and MJ's and helped Alex with this little cat staircase that he built for his cat. And yeah, that was pretty much the whole weekend. I didn't do too much crazy. On Friday, I had Friday off. Well, I guess I had Thursday off too because of New Year's, but yeah, I guess, have we even talked? I'm sure we talked about New Year's on a previous vlog, one of the clips I have, but New Year's I just went up to Jeff and Laura's. They had a New Year's party. And then Friday, yes, I think Friday or Saturday is the day we went to Boulder. Anyway, really didn't do much other social activities other than the movie and the hike and shopping on Sunday. And today's Tuesday. So, did that. Hung out. Been diamond painting, walking Apollo a lot. Baby boy. Are you having a good time? I wonder if his light has any battery. Come here. Let me see your light. Does your light have any battery? I haven't charged that thing in a while. Yeah, well, we'll see how long it lasts, but it's working. So yeah, just a lot of diamond painting and hanging out. And then yesterday I worked and then had a really long conversation with Mia, just chit-chatted. And then I got home and I meant to film while I was walking Apollo, but we talked the entire walk. So I didn't get a chance to, which is fine. And then came home and I was like, let me film a whip and chat. Let me get in here. So I did that. And then here we are. I did get a chance today to not do a full tidy spring clean, but I've just been picking little areas of my room or stuff I have in the house, picking a little section and just going through and saying, do I really need this? Can I clear some of this out? Can I get rid of some things? That way, when it does come time to move, I just have less stuff I need to move. So today was my electronics and gear, at least a portion of it. So I had this big old bag that's had all my old cameras, all the old charging cables, all this old stuff, accessories and things that came free with something or at one point I needed. So I went through that and got rid of a bunch of charging cables that I don't need anymore, especially a lot of my lightning cables, like the old iPhone cables, and the new iPhones use USB-C, so I really don't need those. So I got rid of a bunch. I saved one because I do have a charging pad from Apple that uses it, so I saved one for that. Got rid of those. I got my gimbal out and I was like, I've had that gimbal since probably 2015, so it's 11 years old at this point. It's like, well, let me charge it up and see if it's still kicking. And I completely forgot that two of the buttons, one of which is the button that actually controls the direction, had broken off. I completely forgot about that. So that's why I stopped using it, is because it broke a few years ago, and I've just been keeping it. So I got rid of that, and now I'm in the market for a new one. So did a little shopping and added a couple potentials into my cart today. Just got to decide which one I want. I need to read some more reviews. And then my old action camera, might have told you guys this, but over the Christmas, New Year holiday, one of the guys that I met in the fall, one of the coaster guys, his name's Xander, I think. I went with him to both King's Dominion and he was at Six Flags America. He started his own channel. So he's really excited to get going. And I posted on the coaster group that I had upgraded my camera and got some new accessories. You want to go this way, buddy? Should we go down the hill? Maybe not. Let's keep going straight. We'll do an extended walk, but not the full thing. We'll do like 3/4 of it. So I had posted on the coaster chat that I had gotten my new rig and sent them pictures and everything. And then he messaged me and he's like, hey, would you be interested in selling your old camera? And I was like, no, I'm not interested in selling it. I'll just send it to you. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, if you pay for the shipping, I'll let you know how much shipping was and I'll send it out to you. He's like, seriously? It's like, yeah, of course. And that camera still goes for, with the combo and everything, it's probably $400-ish bucks worth of equipment. Because I was like, I'll send you the camera and most of the stuff's still in its package because I used a lot of the accessories from the one I had previous to that 2 cameras ago. So like the cage, the little, the case for it. So when you drop it, it doesn't break or whatever. I still had that in its package. And then it usually comes with 1 battery, but I have the 3 battery pack. It's like, I can get you that. And then my old wireless microphones that I don't use anymore. You're more than welcome to have those. And the little windscreens and all that stuff. I was like, I'll just send you everything that I no longer use. And he was like, oh, wow, that's awesome. So I had to go through my bag and find all the stuff and put all that together. So I got that done. And so I need to ship that out to him at the end of the week. So that'll clear out some things. I'm happy to do it. Otherwise, I'm just collecting, And I'm not a videographer, content creator who's going to do comparisons between old and new cameras. It would just sit there, So if somebody else can get some use out of it and help him create some content, I told him, when your channel blows up, you better let me ride your coattails. He was like, okay, LOL. So, yeah. So just kind of did some tidying up, got rid of a whole bunch of cables and just odds and ends, and just kind of organized what I did have so it all fits neatly into a little bag. And I did end up getting, and I'm happy I did, I was looking for a new tripod, and I wasn't sure if I needed to get a whole new tripod, if I could figure something out, because the tripod that I currently have, it has the extender arm so it can extend out over the table to film. And so that's perfect, but it only has a cell phone attachment at the end. You can't take it off, you can't switch it for anything, it's just for a phone. Hold on, just saw someone coming up. So it only works with a cell phone. You can't take it off or unscrew it and put something else on the end of it. It's only meant for a phone. And in the past, I've kind of wedged my action camera in there when I do want to use it on the tripod to get it to work, but it's always like off kilter and it's wonky. So I was like, I want to find a tripod that's completely modular so I can put a phone or a real camera at the end of it if I want to do whip-in chats or live streams or whatever. I want to figure something out. So I was shopping for a tripod and was reading all these reviews, and I about bought one. I about bought one, and then I saw a little ad for a company called KF Concepts, and they do tripods. That's where I was looking at tripods, but I saw a little ad for what they call their magic arm. And so it's a clamp. It's got like a little lobster claw on one end, and it's all metal. It's very high quality. You clamp it to whatever, a table, another tripod, and it just gives you an extra arm off of whatever you're using to put something else. It can't hold a heavy duty camera, like a full DSLR or a mirrorless camera like a big old Sony, but it can hold things like a phone or my little action camera. So it was $20 something as opposed, maybe it was less than that, it was like 18 or something, as opposed to the 100 something that I was about to spend on a tripod. And someday I probably will get a tripod from them, but I think I can make this, I thought I could make this work. So I ordered the arm, and it's only about a foot long, but it sticks out a foot over the table and clamps onto my ring light tripod. And then I can have my ring light and then the camera kind of hanging off the side. Like, let me get it and see. So I got that in, and I filmed that whip and chat with it. So I don't know if, well, that'll go up before this. So the most recent whip and chat, I was using my action camera and that little arm, and I think it looked pretty good. The action camera doesn't zoom because it's meant for wide shots, like landscape, you're skiing, you're scuba diving, you're vlogging. It's meant for wide angle. It's not meant for like close-ups. So I had it zoomed in 2x, and that's the closest I can get it. And so it's still not, like I've seen a lot of other content creators with their whip and chats, and I've done them before with my phone, where you're like zoomed right in on the section. But with this, you can see like 3 sections. So someday I might go back to my phone and use that, but I like the idea of just using this camera for as much as I can. So if it looked okay to you, then I'm cool with it. Or if you prefer your whip and chats to be really zoomed in, then I can go back to my phone. It's not that big of a deal. The nice thing about the arm is I can pop the camera off and then pop a phone attachment to it. And so I have a phone attachment, or I had one, and it just had like a plastic screw, and the actual thing that holds the phone is plastic. It's got that spring in it, and you kind of force your phone in there. I've had that thing for a long time, and it just so happened that when I got this arm, they were also advertising their phone attachment. It's a metal phone attachment, super heavy duty, but it also doubles as a platform, so you can slide your camera on and off other tripods and stuff. So I was like, that's cool. You can put it on your camera, screw it on, and then you can just quickly unhook and hook your phone or camera to a tripod. You don't have to unscrew anything. It just unclips. So it just turns it into like a quick release. Or you fold out these 2 little pieces and it becomes a phone holder. So it's kind of a dual purpose. And it was 40% off. So I was like, let me snag it. I don't need it. I have a phone thing. But someday I'll need it eventually. It'd be nice to have this little thing. And it looks like like credit card size, maybe a little bit bigger and thicker, obviously, but yeah, you just clip your phone. I think Apollo, I think we want to go, I don't remember. I think we want to go this way. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, I honestly don't know exactly which. We just got to like a 4-way intersection. I'm like, wait, which way do we want to go? But I'll just keep going straight. Eventually we'll run into the end and then I know where we are. So I was like, I'll snag it. Don't necessarily need it, but it'll be a nice to have for the future. It's made out of aluminum. It's very heavy duty. It's nice, and it's 40% off. I'll get it. So I get it, film my whip and chat, and during the whip and chat, I needed to grab the charging cable for the camera. I go to grab the charging cable for the camera. My plastic phone holder that I've had for years falls off of my shelf that I have all my filming equipment put on and cracks and breaks. Just breaks into like 3 pieces. I'm like, oh, great. Well, I guess I am glad that I ended up buying that. Now I know where we are. Hi. Okay. Get over here. Ow. Don't, Apollo. Don't slam into me. Come here. Come over here. Okay. Come on. Hey! Hey, Apollo. Hold on. Okay, yes. I see you. You little crazy bones. So yeah, fell off the counter or the shelf, hit the ground, cracked and broke. And I'm like, well, I guess that's karma for buying its replacement early, is it decided its time was up. So I'm glad I have that now. So if I ever do want to switch back to doing whip and chats with my phone so I can get really zoomed in, I have that, and I can just screw that onto the magic arm and off we go. So now I have my tripod from my old ring light, which I still have that ring light. I need to just throw it in the dumpster. It shorted. So I have my old ring light. I should have thrown that away today. I'll do it tomorrow. But the tripod from my old ring light, which is a perfectly functioning tripod, I have that. I have my old skincare tripod that I used to use, and it's kind of a chintzy little cheapy one. I have that one, and then I have my tripod with the extender arm that I bought, that has the phone attachment to it. And then I have, why did my AirPods disconnected? Not that I'm using them, but that was weird. I have that one. And then I have a small tabletop tripod that I bought when I first started diamond painting, thinking that I could just set the tripod up on the table to do whip and chats, but I'm a heavy placer and I just use a folding table so it shakes, so you could see the camera shaking when I was diamond painting. So I haven't used that in a long time, and it's just a thin little tabletop one. So I'm like, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tripods sitting in the corner of my room that I really don't have much of a use for anymore, because I got this arm and I can just clip that onto my ring light. So I think I'm going to keep the one that has the extended arm. I'm going to keep that one because that's kind of the most useful out of all of them, to have the arm that extends horizontally away from the tripod to go over the table. It's just that if that little phone attachment on it ever breaks, it's going to render that whole piece useless. So I'm going to hang on to it for now. And then I'm going to keep the one that my old ring light used to be attached to, because that one gets super tall and I really like that. So I'll keep those two and then let go of the tabletop one and then the old one I used to use for skincare, because I never use them. I never use them, and they're just sitting there. So just cleaning up, clearing out. That way when I move, I am kind of streamlined, and the tenants at Alex and MJ's place, their mother-in-law apartment that I'll be moving into, they leave on March 1st. So that'll be my first chance to really go up there and see it. So I want to get in there and kind of figure out my space and how I'm going to lay out my studio / office, because I do want to make it pretty professional. I have 2 TVs. I need to just call Alex and see if he thinks this is feasible. So I have 2 TVs. The bigger one's going to go in the living room, obviously. But the smaller one, which is still a decent size, I'd like to put that in my office so I can use it to see what I'm doing with the cameras. Maybe connect my laptop to it so I can see what I'm doing with the cameras and stuff. But then I'd also like it to have the Coaster Pursuit logo on it, so that way when I'm filming, I can have my desk in front of the TV, sitting facing away from it, and then it's behind me with the logo. I think that'd look pretty cool. So I don't know, I have some ideas, but I'd like to figure out my studio setup, because it's gonna have my actual desk, where I work, and then it'll have my diamond painting / filming table. But the nice thing about it is I won't have to take down my diamond painting table when I'm finished crafting for the night, because right now when it's time to diamond paint, I have to unfold it, get my diamond painting off of the hanger, put it down, get all my accessories out, start working, and then when it's time to go to bed, everything gets put away in drawers, the diamond painting gets hung up, the table gets folded up and put away. So it'll be nice to not have to be modular anymore and actually have a permanent setup. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope the room is big enough to do everything that I want to do in there. Think of it like a square. So there'll be a square, and on one end of the square is my laptop, my working table up against the wall with the chair in front of it, and my monitors and all that. Then on the opposite end of the wall, on the other side, there's a TV hung up. So if I'm sitting at my desk working, the TV would be, my back would be to it. And then between those two things is a 6-foot table, kind of not in the middle of the room, closer to the TV side, but then I can push my chair from my desk and wheel it around to the 6-foot table, so I'm still facing the same direction I was, but I'm further back in the room, and then I can put the tripod in front of me, if that makes sense. So I just need to see the room space to make sure all this will work. If I do need to downsize to a smaller crafting table, I can. I mean, I barely use the full 6 feet when I'm diamond painting. I'm really just on one side of it. But it is nice to have that big of a table when you're working on large canvases, because then you can have it kind of rolled out off to the side of you. It's not folding over the edge of anything. But if I needed to break down and shrink my table size down to like a 3-foot, like half the size, I could manage. And usually when I'm working on big panels, I don't unroll the entire panel down the 6-foot table and work on it that way. I work on it vertically, so it's running off the back end of the table, and then I work on it till it's sitting in my lap, and then I use hair clips to roll it up and clip it so it's not sitting in my lap, and then I get halfway done and I flip it over. Apollo, he just went into the no dogs allowed side. Apollo, hey, come on, what are you doing? You can't go over there. That's why the fence is there. Little brat. So I could make it work. If I need to downsize, the only thing I won't compromise is I have to have a separate table for my monitors and my computer and where I work. Has to be completely separate than my crafting and filming space. They're two separate tasks to me, two completely separate mindsets. So and I don't want to have one giant table where I've got monitors sitting on it and then I've got my diamond painting next to it and all my stuff. Because I work from home, I use that space for work. Like, it's got to be its own deal. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I'm hoping there's enough space. I know it's a 2-bedroom, but they call it a shotgun, meaning there's not a hallway or a separate entrance into the second bedroom. So you basically think of it as one long rectangle. So when you walk in, you come up to the top of the stairs and you've got your kitchen in front of you and your bathroom. Your living room is on the right-hand side. Then on the left-hand side is a door to the first room. But then it's just these little punch-in, like the wall comes in maybe a couple feet on either side, and it's an archway into the second room. So the only way to get to the second room is through the first room. So it's perfect for me because it's just me. So it's not like I need privacy between my office and my bedroom. But it's technically a 2-bedroom, but it's really one giant room with an archway in between, breaking up the space. So we'll see. There might even be a chance that I make the first room that you walk into be my bedroom, and then you have to walk through the bedroom to get to the office, if that means that I have more space for filming in the second room. We'll see. Not quite sure yet. So he asked me if I wanted to go up and take a look, and I'm like, no, I don't want to encroach on your current tenants by snooping around. I'm going to move in regardless, but it will be nice to figure out the layout soon. So I know that MJ had a listing up for it, because at one point they thought they were gonna rent it out to new tenants, but they ended up just keeping the tenants that they inherited when they bought the house. So I know she has pictures. Maybe I'll ask him for some dimensions just so I can compare it to my current room. I mean, anything's going to be an upgrade from what my current situation is, because my workspace and my crafting space and my bedroom it's all in my bedroom. So that's why I have to break everything down when I'm done. So no matter what, it'll be an improvement to have even a few extra feet of space. But I have this idea in my head of having an actual office / film, like I'm calling it a studio, but where I film all my stuff. And it's one of the reasons I've been kind of putting off filming any coaster content over the winter, because my plan was, I'll film my top 10 roller coasters and my favorite park of the year and do all these countdowns, but I want to do it sitting at the table talking to everybody. But really the only space I can do that is downstairs in the dining room, and that really limits me because I'd have to find time to do it just because I get embarrassed to do it when my roommates aren't home. And really the only time that they're not home is when either they're on vacation or when I'm working from home and they're out of the house and I don't have time during my lunch break to do all that. So I usually have enough time to do an unboxing, but that's it. So it's kind of one of the reasons why the coaster channel has gone stagnant when I'm not traveling, is because I don't really have a space to sit down and have the camera on me and have it set up nicely. So I just have in my head a setup where behind me is the wall with the TV and two like shelving units, small shelving units on either side that have maybe some just trinkets and stuff that I've collected while at the different parks, and just, you know, odds and ends, or just my filming equipment set up nicely. So when I turn on the camera to do Coaster Pursuit, it looks professional. So we'll see. I know that that first room has a door to the balcony, that the unit has a balcony, a walkout balcony. And so that door might throw off the symmetry. So I might have to put my work desk on that side. And then the other side is a full wall where I can put the TV. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I've just been thinking about that a lot recently. Like, okay, I'm ready to get in there. What's it gonna be like? So, yeah, but anyway, as far as diamond painting goes, like I said, content-wise, I have my kind of hodgepodge grab bag vlog that I'll need to stitch together. Then I have the whip and chat, which needs to get edited. This video needs to get edited. And then I started working on my Dueling Dragons challenge. So I filmed a clip of me selecting my enhancements, or my options for enhancements for Guardian of the Realm by Michael David Ward and Dreamer Designs. Selected my enhancement potentials, and then I kitted it up because that'll help me understand how many drills I need to order. And then, so I filmed all that, kitted Guardian of the Realm up, got that set aside, and I was like, okay, let's get into Dragon Spirit and do this all over again for the second kit. But it was late. By the time I finished the first one, I was like, I'll do that one this weekend or something. So I've got to do that, and then I will film a clip where I'm sharing my computer screen with you all, and we'll go shopping. And then I'll place my DP with Sparklers order. And what is it? Come here. Come here. What are you doing? What are you doing, big boy? Place my DP with Sparklers order. Then hopefully by the time all that's done and the sparklers get in, and I've kitted up the sparklers into their into my art dots with the regular drills, he's sniffing and looking all over the place. There's Fox out here and all sorts of stuff, so he must be seeing something. He seems very, very investigatory. Then hopefully by that time, I will be ready, meaning I will have finished Inquisitor. So I'm going to try to push to get as much done on that kit, which I'm doing for Mia's Cats event, and then I can transition into those rounds. So that's the goal there. So speaking of whips, I have Inquisitor. I'd say at this point we'll say 33% done. So I've got that, and then I have Inner Garden by You May Art. I haven't really worked on that since the last time we talked. I've really been focusing on Inquisitor because I'd like to knock it out. And then I probably should work on Inner Garden because I do want to get that done. But it will. I just worry that I'll get Inquisitor done and then I'm going to be too jazzed about the Dueling Dragons challenge and just jump right into that. So I do need to at least sit down and pick at Inner Garden here and there. But that one, I'll say halfway, I think. Whatever I said last time. Halfway, maybe. So we've got that. Garden of Earthly Delights, no progress. And then on long-term hiatus is Cognac Biscuit du Boucher. And I might not mention that going forward as a whip because I purposely, I'm not working on it until I get a bunch of other projects done or next Mooka Mania. So it's not I'll pick at it, it's not even on my radar right now just because I've got a lot of other plans. So really, I do have 4 whips technically, but I'm only considering working on 3 for the foreseeable future. I'm not kidding it down. I'm not throwing it away. If I really do get that, if I really, there really is a possibility, potentially, where I might tap somebody on the shoulder to do it for me. We'll see. I'm not sure, but that is a potential. Because it is super confetti heavy. It is really big. And I do want to see it done. And if anything, if I do bring it out during Mooka Mania this year, in 2026, it would still probably be a background kit in favor of whatever round Mooka I'm working on, you know what I mean? So don't get mad if sometime in the next few months or later on in the year you see a finish and review of Cognac Biscuit and I tell you that I'm not the one that did it. I haven't asked this person yet, but I might text them soon and see if it's something they'd be willing to consider and I can bring them everything and pay them for their time if they'll let me. So yeah. So we'll see about that. But otherwise, kitted up, not started, I have Guardian of the Realm, which we need to get enhancements. There's work that needs to be done there. Guardian of the Realm. Then we have, now this path, I'm not sure if it's open. There was a gate on it a couple weeks ago. Wonder if they've reopened it. Looks like they have. Cool. So Guardian of the Realm, which will be done soon, at least started soon. Then we have my 2 Abraham Hunters, Winter Solace and Sedona Majesty. No plans on starting either of those. Sedona Majesty's in the basement now with the drills because I was like, stop taunting me that you haven't been worked on. You're going in the basement. And then Winter Solace is still, I have the drills kitted up, but the actual canvas is rolled up and in its box. I might put Sedona Majesty in the box with it because I could see someday trying to do some sort of crazy landscape challenge and working on both of those. Because one's kind of fall, I think. Fall. Sedona Majesty gives me fall colors, while Winter Solace is definitely obviously winter. So maybe I could do a double kit challenge for those. We'll see. So, yeah, and that's everything. Even though, I did have a finish. I finished the Kiss. That's done. So it was nice to have that finish, and now being down to, I'll just say 3 whips, because the Mooka we're putting on hold. We're putting that back in the stash column. So 3 whips, and I'm certainly going to get 2 of them done in the next month or so. And that'll just leave me with Garden of Earthly Delights. And I do want to pick at that too. So we'll see what happens. I'd love to make that my next big square, but I have, as far as square drills, so round drills, Guardian of the Realm and Dragon Spirit are my next 2 rounds. My next 2 squares are my Mystical Dream Diamonds and my custom for Coaster Studios, the other channel, the coaster channel that I follow. So those are my next 2 squares. That might change as far as the Mystical Dream Diamonds goes. I mentioned in a previous video that I'd have more to share about Mystical Dream Diamonds coming soon. So I guess I'll share what I know now. The owner over at Mystical Dream Diamonds has been so sweet and just super responsive to my feedback of the unboxing, and really appreciated all the detail and everything that I went into. She's sending over replacement drills for one of the colors that I called out in Moonlit Reverie, as I just said I wasn't too sure that I would want those as ABs. So she's sending some replacement drills out for that. And we got to chit-chatting, and this was towards Christmas time. We got to chit-chatting, and she, after the review, and she was like, I'd really like you to get your hands on one of our hand-rendered pieces so you can see our hand renderings. And I was like, oh, I'd love that, you know. I was taking a look, and I saw some hand-rendered stuff as well, and she was like, well, we're going to have a bunch of releases coming out the Friday after Christmas with some new artists and some new hand-rendered pieces. I'd love to send you one. And I was like, okay. I mean, don't have to do that, but I'm happy to take you up on it, you know. So she was like, well, let's wait until, because I had sent her, after she had mentioned that, I was like, oh, cool. Well, I did see this one particular kit from Mariella Rinaldi that I think is just so unique and interesting, and it's one of the hand-rendered ones. I was like, that one's really cool. She's like, okay, well, let's hold off until Friday, see if there's any new releases for hand renders that pique your interest, and then you just get back to me and let me know what your favorites are. And I was like, okay, cool. So I actually kind of forgot about it, and so I didn't write her back until maybe like Sunday or Monday the following week. And I was like, hey, so sorry. I took a look at the new releases from some of the new artists, very interesting stuff. Here are my top three hand renders that really piqued my interest. And one of them was from a new artist. I forget their name, but it's this really interesting owl. It's kind of done with some rainbowy kind of colors, but it's also got this kind of ominous vibe to it. And it just looks really cool. Like, I don't know, owls have those eyes where they're just like looking into your soul. And I was like, that would be a really cool one to take into the office. It's not, you know, it's not got a girl with, you know, with a low cut whatever, or showing some leg, or, you know, in her garden she's like naked essentially with the garden. So I was like, that would be a really nice one for the office. I think that'd be really cool. And then there was the other one from Mariella Rinaldi it's this really unique kind of painted face, kind of mosaic, kind of abstract pattern, but it's a woman's face. It gave me, I don't know what artist I'd compare it to, like a Dolly, or no, not even that, but it's very interesting, very, very captivating. And then there was one other. So I sent those to her, and she wrote me back, and she's like, okay. I was like, you let me, like, you pick, because I'm happy, like I'll be happy with any of these. If there's a particular one that you think you want to get in front of people so they see it, the artwork, and it showcases the type of artwork you have, or if you're anticipating one being a big seller and you want that to get in front of people, or there's a particular artist you want to highlight, like whichever one of these would be the most beneficial to be featured, you pick. But here's the 3 that are my vibe. So she was like, okay. And then she wrote me like a little bit later and she's like, I have a feeling I'm going to send you more than one. I was like, oh my gosh. So I can confirm that there's 2 of the 3 that I said I liked on their way. They're both square and they're both hand rendered. So those are on their way, along with my replacement drills for Moonlit Reverie. So now I've got to decide if I want to do Moonlit Reverie, the first one that I got, or after I unbox those 2, I have to figure out which one of the 3 in total from Mystical Dream Diamonds that I want to start first. So we'll see. I can't say right now. And I might even ask her, which one would you rather I start on? Because I'll start on any one of them. But if you had to pick one where you're like, I'd love for Anthony to have this one as his first finish from us to show a finish and review and whip and chats. Come here. Hi baby. Which one would it be? So I might ask for her opinion. If she doesn't have a particular opinion, then I'll just pick one. I mean, they all look good. But that one of those from Mystical Dream Diamonds will be my next square along with my custom. So it's nice to have a little bit of choice there. And I mean, again, I did not ask for that. I'm not an influencer. And I will give them the same, no holds barred, not pulling any punches with my unboxing and my critique or whatever review that I did for the computer rendered one. But it'll be cool to compare the computer rendered versus the hand charted. Oh gosh, that maybe even makes me think I should pick 2 of them and do a 1-for-1 and work on 2 projects at once for that as well. So I can show Moonlit Reverie as a computer charted and then show the hand rendered as well. Maybe I'll do that. It'll take longer to have a finish, but it would be cool to have a comparison. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. It's a nice idea, but that's a lot of diamond painting. So yeah, my 2 rounds, the 2 dragons, a Mystical Dream Diamonds, and my custom will be my next 4 projects. And I'm hoping that I'll have all of that done before I move in May. That's the goal, to get my 2 current whips done, 4 more projects, and then that'll be May. So unfortunately, I won't be able to participate in Mia's Cats event until probably May or June. And even then, in May, I was planning on doing my lo-fi Cozy Vibes paint along, which, well, that'll allow me to get back into Mia's Cats event as well, because I'll be working on Lo-Fi Cali Girl, and that has a cat in it. So I won't be able to participate in her event until May again. And then we'll see where life takes me after that. I'd like to keep a cat kit in my rotation the entire year until Mookamania in November. So I have Sakura Festival on my list to do. Basically a lot of Yume. Actually, no, I have Breakfast Buddies from Ivy Dolomore I could do. I have Plant Delivery and Flower Delivery that I could do from Yume. really it's a lot of ivies and and yumes to have a cat in there. But I'll probably be popping in and out of participating in that event, just based off of the kits that I choose. But I probably, after I finish this Inquisitor one, I probably won't be participating in February, March, or April, just because I won't have any cats going on. So, but I'm excited. It's nice to have a little plan together. It's not usually my style, but it's nice to know, like, these are the kits you need to get done, and barring any sort of crazy issues with quality or burnout or whatever, I mean, all this artwork I'm going to be happy to do. So I'm hoping it goes smoothly. So yeah, I started looking at some small shops to maybe try, because I did get some feedback on some responding to comments that people really like seeing unboxings and people working up new shops, as opposed to, you know, Diamond Art Club, Jada Gem Shop. And I'm like, you know, I've been burned in the past. So far, so good with Mystical Dream Diamonds. Maybe I can dip my toes into some new shops again. And so I went to Emeralds and Fairy Lights used to have, well, they still do, I guess, technically. Apollo, come here. A master list of shops that carry only licensed diamond paintings. Stay. The last time it was updated was like June of 2024, I think, or something like that. And I was like, oh, well, it'll still maybe give me some good ideas. I was clicking through those links, and like 60% of them, the shops are closed. So I'm like, this is not really helpful, guys. I mean, I'm sure it takes a lot of work to keep that updated in real time, but even touching that thing once every 6 months, Katie and Lindsay might want to do that, because it is severely outdated. I can't tell you how many links I clicked, and it's like, do you want to buy this domain? I'm like, no, I thought I was going to be shopping. So it wasn't super helpful. Most of the ones that were still open were ones I was already familiar with. There's a couple new places that I found through there. So I'll have to take a look at their selections. But one of the ones that I've known since early on in my diamond painting life that I've just never purchased from is Oraloa. And I rarely hear much about Oraloa. So I guess my action item for this vlog is, have you worked on an Oraloa kit? What are your thoughts, feelings? Should I give them a shot? If you had to compare them to one of the shops that I am familiar with, or another shop that you're familiar with, what can I expect in terms of quality and rendering and all that stuff? I hopped on their site, and they have I think it's Dominic Davidson, that they have that I guess was recently released, and it's called like Japanese Tea Room, and it looks interesting. It is definitely my style. They have some other kind of cozy, lo-fi kind of cozy images that I liked too, but a lot of them were sold out. So, but I just don't hear, at least with the content creators that I listen to or follow, I don't really hear anything about Oraloa. So I'm like, is there a reason behind that? Is it not the best? So let me know, because that would be potentially one of the next ones that I would shop from, just because I've known about it for so long, but have never purchased anything. And for no other reason than they just slip my mind. I just don't think about them. So let me know. And they have this whole Hawaiian theme to them, and I'm like, is it a Hawaiian company, or is that just their vibe? I don't know. So let me know, what's up with Oraloa, tell me, because I don't know. But, all right, well, we're getting back to the car here, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go. But thanks for coming along. I hope having the little light made it a little bit more palatable to do a nighttime walk, so you can at least see a little something. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. 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 Oh, there was something else. There's something else that we need to talk about, but it'll have to wait. And we also need to talk about coaster stuff too. We've got a lot to, I should just do another lap, huh? I'm just kidding. All right, we'll see ya. Bye.